Hello students, welcome to the course of Environmental Science. My name is Riya Dikshit and I am working as an assistant professor in AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. The topic for today is energy resources, renewable and non-renewable energy resources and use of alternative energies. Now let's look into the objectives of this session. First, what is energy? What are the importance of energy resources? What are the types of energy resources and alternative energy resources? Let's understand what do you mean by energy. Energy is a fundamental concept in physics referring to the capacity of a system to do work or to produce heat. It's a property that can take many forms and be converted from one form to another. In simpler terms, it is what allows things to happen or a change. Energy is very important in our daily life. For example, kinetic energy, potential energy and thermal energy, etc. Now let's understand what an energy resource means. An energy resource is any substance or natural phenomena that can be harnessed to produce energy in a usable form. This energy can be converted into various forms such as electricity, heat, or mechanical power to perform work. Energy resources are essential for powering our societies, industries, and daily activities. Can you imagine a life without energy? Can you survive? Can you imagine a life without electricity? No, right? So we need to understand what is the importance of energy resources. First, powering societies. Societies does not only mean your home, but societies means the industries, your workplace, etc. Now, energy resources provide the power necessary for running industries, transportation systems, homes, and businesses. They enable the functioning of modern societies by providing electricity, heat, and mechanical energy. Second, economic development. Access to reliable and affordable energy resources is crucial for economic development. As we all know, India is an economically developing country. But if we keep on spending a lot of money on resources, then it won't be affordable for us. We need to find out sustainable measures to spend less money on such things. Industries require energy for manufacturing processes, while businesses rely on it for its operations too. Energy availability influences investment decisions and also leads to the overall economic growth. Third, quality of life. Now, what is quality of life? Quality of life is a multidimensional concept that encompasses various aspects of well-being and satisfaction with one's circumstances. It includes factors such as physical health, mental health, emotional well-being, social relationships, economic status, environmental conditions, and personal fulfillment. Energy resources play a very important role in improving our quality of life. They provide heating and cooling for our homes, power appliances, enable communication technologies, and also the most important function is to support healthcare services, which contributes to the overall well-being and the comfort as well. India is a leading country in global trade. Now, energy resources are essential for transportation, including its shipping, aviation, and road transportation. They facilitate global trade and commerce by powering vehicles, vessels that transport goods and people across religions and countries. Environmental sustainability. We hear the word sustainability every single day, but do we actually practice it? Environmental sustainability is very important nowadays because it is depleting the resources that we have. The choice of energy resources has a significant impact on environment. Transitioning to the renewable energy sources helps mitigate greenhouse gas emissions, reduce air and water pollution, and minimize habitat destructions associated with the extractions and combustion of fossil fuels. Energy security. Diversification of energy sources and reducing its dependency on specific fuels or religions enhances energy security. Can you depend on any one person to do all of your work? No, right? So in turn, can you also depend on any one type of energy to help you out with your tasks? It is very important that we reduce the dependency and be more independent. Renewable energy resources such as solar and wind power are decentralized and often domestically available, reducing vulnerability to supply disruptions and geopolitical tensions. Now, what are renewable energy resources? We will be learning it in the coming slides. Now, energy resources are of utmost importance and we need to make sure that they are safeguarded for our benefit. We need to make sure that the resources are used properly and also in an adequate manner. Now you can see a picture in front of your screen. You can see solar panels, you can see the sun, you can see wind energy. Do you think that all of these help you in your daily life? If you think no, then you are wrong. These resources help you to generate power and help us to make sure that our daily necessities are fulfilled. Now let's understand what are the two main types of energy resources. First is renewable energy and second is non-renewable energy. In front of your screen, you can see the renewable energy sources are wind, hydropower, solar, geothermal and biomass. And non-renewable sources of energy are oil, fossil fuels, natural gases, nuclear and coal. Now, let's understand the definition of renewable and non-renewable resources of energy. First, renewable resources. Renewable resources is a resource of which there is an endless supply because it can be replenished. The sun, the wind and the geothermal heat are considered to be inexhaustible and therefore are examples of renewable resources. Non-renewable resources is a substance that is used up more quickly than it can replace itself. The supply of a non-renewable resource is finite, which means it is not infinite and it cannot be replenished easily. Non-renewable resources are extracted directly from the earth. Now, you can see a difference between renewable and non-renewable resource in front of your screen. Renewable resource can be replenished and replaced by a natural process in a short amount of time, but non-renewable energy or resource takes a lot of time or even millions of years. Renewable resource can be reused or recycled multiple amount of times, but non-renewable energy resources cannot be reused or be recycled. Some examples for renewable energy resources are wind energy, power energy and hydroelectric geothermal energy. And renewable energy resources cause no harm to the environment, whereas non-renewable energy resources conduct harm to the environment. Now that you know what is renewable and non-renewable energy resources, let's look into both of them in detail. Renewable energy resources. First, solar energy. It is generated from sunlight through photovoltaic cells or solar thermal system. Solar energy is generated from the sun and it is one of the most important energy that can be generated. we can see a lot of examples where homes or even hospitals are powered by solar energy. It is not only environmentally sustainable but also light on their pocket. Second, wind energy, captured by the wind turbines, converting kinetic energy into electricity simply. Third, hydroelectric energy. Hydroelectric energy is produced by the current or the flowing water turbines to generate energy. Fourth, biomass energy. Now, biomass energy is derived from organic materials such as wood, agricultural residues, and even waste. Geothermal energy, harnessed from the heat stored beneath the Earth's surface. Tidal energy is captured from the movement of tidals, including turbines. Now, let's look into the non-renewable sources of energy. Fossil fuels. Coal, a combustible black or brownish black sedimentary rock. Oil or petroleum, a light hydrocarbon mixture extracted from the earth. Natural gas, a flammable gas consisting primarily of methane or other hydrocarbons. Nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is generated from the nuclear reactions, typically through the fission of uranium. Now that you know what is renewable and non-renewable sources of energy, you can have a thought if non-renewable resource of energy is better or renewable resources of energy is better. Till then, let's look into the alternative sources of energy which helps us to have a betterment in general. Alternative energy sources such as the renewable energy sources offer numerous benefits and application across various sectors. First, electricity generation. Solar can power houses, businesses, and even entire cities through photovoltaic panels or solar thermal systems. Wind energy can harness to generate electricity through wind turbines, providing a clean and a sustainable power source. Hydroelectric energy can be used from the flowing water and can also be used to generate electricity, especially in the regions where there is abundant water resources. When you have a lot of sources of water, then you can use it in a better way to include it into energy. Second, transportation. As you all know that transportation plays a very important part in our country especially. If you take an example of Pune, majority of the people use their own cars or even their own two-wheelers to transport from here till then. Many of them also use public transports. But now there is one concept that is coming into being, which is your EV vehicles, which is your electric vehicles. These utilize electricity as an alternative to the traditional gasoline or diesel engines, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions and also the reliance on fossil fuels. Biofuels, derived from the organic material that can be used in vehicles as a renewable and lower carbon alternative to the conventional fuels. Heating and cooling. Geothermal energy can be used for heating and cooling buildings by harnessing heat from the Earth's subsurface. Solar thermal systems can provide hot water and space heating for the residential and commercial buildings as well. Agriculture. As we know that India is abundant of agriculture and we depend upon agriculture a lot. Also, agriculture uses a lot of water into being. So, it is very important to have agriculture and the renewable energy resources hand in hand. Renewable energy can power irrigation systems and agricultural machineries, which reduces the reliance on fossil fuels and also lowering the carbon emission in the agriculture sector. Remote or off-grid applications. Alternative energy sources are particularly valuable in remote areas or off-grid locations where traditional energy infrastructure is very limited or even unavailable. Solar panels, wind turbines, and small-scale hydroelectric systems can provide reliable electricity for off-grid communities, telecommunication, towers, and even remote industrial operations. By now, you already know what is an energy, what are the importance of energy resources. Energy resources do make your life better, but that does not mean that you can take it for granted. We need to make sure as a collective unit to have methods and areas where we can improve and we can give a better life to the energy resources in between. Now let's have a recap for this session. We learned what are energy resources. We learned the importance of energy resources. We also learned the types of energy resources. And lastly, we learned what is energy resources and what are the alternative source of energy resources. Thank you.